Welcome back to Osprey Aligned. Here, we explore universal alignment and synchronizing with the rhythm of nature. This channel exists to help you realign with nature's seasons. Find your rhythm again. So here we are. You've thawed out of winter's dormancy. You sprung into spring with excitement and energy. You faced the setback head on. You eliminated distractions through fasting. You did the work. And now the question becomes, what now? The answer is simple. Now you bloom. This is your full bloom season. All of the hard work has manifested. Everything you've been building, planning, preparing for, is now ready to blossom. And unlike the false start that tested your readiness, this bloom is real. This is the one that lasts. Look around you. Really look. Spring is at its absolute peak. The flowers are blooming everywhere. No longer just buds, but full, vibrant, unapologetic flowers covering the landscape. Trees are bearing fruit, heavy with abundance. Bees are pollinating with purpose, moving with intention from flower to flower. Butterflies are dancing through the air in abundance, their wings catching the light. Birds are chirping before daybreak, their songs urgent and alive, calling you to rise and get to your destiny. This is not subtle, this is not quiet. This is nature at full expression, at peak power, at maximum thriving. And remember, you are nature. The same applies to your life. This is the season when everything turns in your favor. Think back to what you've been building. That business you've just started. Now is when it gains traction. That job you've been aligning with. Now is when the opportunity solidifies. Those new relationships your spirit has been calling for. Now is when they bloom into reality. Those dreams you dared to imagine in winter's quiet. Now is when they become tangible, visible, undeniable. This is not luck. This is the natural progression of aligned action meeting the right season. You prepared. You waited when waiting was required. You worked when work was needed. And now, spring rewards your patience and your effort. This is when you get excited about life. This is the time of year that will carry in your memory as the turning point. The moment you said yes to yourself. The season where you finally felt it. I'm winning in life. Own it, embrace it, walk in it, because you have earned it. But here's what matters now. You must understand what brought you here. You must recognize the work that made this bloom possible. Because that recognition is what sustains you through the rest of the year. Remember the false start. Remember when we asked you to look around and observe. When we asked you to pause, to refine, to wait. That was mental alignment work. You learned to discern between excitement and readiness. You learned patience in a culture that demands urgency. You learned to build foundations instead of chasing mirages. Remember the fast. Remember when we asked you to clear the table, to release distractions, to quiet the noise so you could hear your own voice? That was spiritual alignment work. You built discipline. You developed the mindset to receive and hold abundance. You connected with thousands of years of human wisdom about preparation and intention. That mental work, that spiritual work, it was not separate from this moment. It was building toward it. Every pause was preparation. Every fast was cleansing. Every moment of patience was creating the conditions for this bloom. And now, equipped with those navigational tools, equipped with that clarity and that discipline, it is time for the physical work. It is time for action. This is where spring shifts from internal to external, from preparation to execution, from planning to doing. Remember how excited you were when spring first arrived? Remember that surge of energy, that rush of possibilities. That excitement was real, but it was untested. The false start taught you to channel it wisely. The fast taught you to harness it intentionally. Now, that excitement has matured into power. That energy has been refined into direction. You are no longer acting from impulse. You are acting from alignment. And aligned action is unstoppable. This is the part of the spring season where you take full control of your destiny, not waiting for permission, not hoping someone else will validate your vision, not second-guessing yourself because the path isn't perfectly clear. You have done the internal work. You have cleared the obstacles. You have prepared the ground. Now you plant with confidence. You build with clarity. You move with purpose. This is when you step into the fullness of what spring offers. Not as a passive recipient, but as an active creator. Not as someone hoping for abundance, but as someone claiming it. Nothing can stop you now. Not because obstacles won't arise, they will. But because you are no longer fragile, you are no longer untested. You have already survived winter. You have already navigated the false spring. You have already done the work that makes you unshakable. Your foundation is solid. Your intention is clear. Your discipline is strong. Your spirit is aligned. This is your full bloom season. This is when you thrive. So walk in it. Move with the confidence of someone who has earned their place in the sun. Act from the clarity of someone who has done the inner work. Build from the strength of someone who understands that abundance is not luck. It's the natural result of alignment meeting action. You did the work, the mental work, the spiritual work, the work that nobody sees but everyone benefits from. Now it's time for the world to see what you've become. Now it's time to thrive, bloom.